Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending from where you're watching us from. This is Oscar, your host, and tonight we'll be watching the K Championship Knockout 12. The start procedure has just begun, and we have 11 of the 12 sailors aligned over here. It's going to be 5 races in the F50. 4 of them are going to be with the whole fleet, and then the final medal race will be double the points just with the top 4. And well, we have some strong contenders tonight, some returning faces with Ame, Von Pigeon, Breast Power, and the Brazilian Then we have some new faces. Phil Métis is going to be one of them. And we got 10 seconds to go. As the boats are getting closer to the start line, you want to cross that start line as fast as you can without having the false start. Being the first one to cross the start line is going to put you in a very good position for the rest of the race. Right now, looks like Lazar Kozik and Carlos Parejo are going to be in the lead. Carlos taking the inside of the mark, so Lazar is going to have to make him to give way, and that's put Carlos in the lead for that first downwind. As he leads the fleet. But Ame is very close. Lazar is very close. Maître Cook is also very close. As I see Nozet in the chat, hello, good luck everyone, and Chris1707D, hello. Tough competition tonight. It is tough competition. And Carlos, former E-Sailing World Championship finalist, I believe also one of the winners in the early stages of the E-Sailing World Championship. Ame is a very strong sailor as well. We see him top of the leaderboard always. And as Jeff said, Breast Power, Von Pigeon are no newcomers to the K Championship knockouts. So far, however, Carlos still in the lead above Lazar, who dropped down to 3rd but close to Maître Cook, and Ame in 5th. We see on the top of your screen over there 0000 in 5th. As Carlos decides to tack. So after they finish this upwind, it's going to be another downwind, then another upwind, then half a downwind into the reaching finish. I see Breast Power over here getting a penalty. Looks like it was a 20, so must have been the boundaries. The Brazilian Zero still in 6th according to the ranking on the left. Is higher than everyone else. Carlos manages to round this mark first. Looks like it's going to be easy sailing for the rest of the race for him. He has a 160 meter lead. And definitely not racking my top 4 tonight. I'll just stink them. Says Chris1707D. I mean, I don't know if they hear you, but you can always try. The Zero, yes, has been on fire lately. Performed very well in the last 2 knockouts. Went into the medal race every time, but could not finish first. I think that's the same with Breast Power and Von Pigeon. Both of them often arriving in the medal race, just not having the medal race that they want to. Hopefully tonight they're going to be able to do that. Carlos still in 1st. I'm in 3rd. Maître Cook in 2nd. So yeah, as I said in the beginning, it's going to be 4 races in total. Then the medal race with the top 4 only. When we go to the medal race, it's going to be double the points, and the points carry on. So if they finish the first 4 races with 10 points, then they start the medal race with 10 points. And if they arrive first, well, they get 2 points. 2nd gets 4, 3rd gets 6, and 4th gets 8. As this is going to be the last upwind of the race, and then we're heading into a half a downwind with a reaching finish. Who is going to take 2nd place? It's going to be Von Pigeon, it's going to be Ame or Maître Cook. All of them are contenders. Maître Cook is slightly higher. But Von Pigeon should be able to get to the gate mark without having to attack again. But it looks like it's going to be a confirmed first place for Carlos. And Von Pigeon slipping in front of Metrocook for the second place. Ame in fourth. He's going to be fighting against Metrocook for that third place, but Metrocook is in front, and with the F50 being faster than the wind, Ame is going to be the one taking the wind shadow. Aeon is going to be fifth. And looks like we have the Brazilian in sixth behind. What is happening over here? We have ESP Pablo in 7. Strong sailor as well. Lazar Kozik, that we've seen more and more at the top of the leaderboard recently. And Breast Power to finish this first race there. We have the ranking. Pablo in 7, Lazar in 8. Flow 48789, yes, it is me. "50 seconds to go, so we saw Carlos taking a great start in the first race. Lazar Kozik did a great start as well. Unfortunately, could not keep up and dropped down to 8. We'll see if he can do better this time. I see your message, Nozet. Yes. Four seconds to go. Boats are lining up. No false start. Well played by the players. Oran from Sweden in the middle of the fleet. He's going to be pushed by Von Pigeon arriving on the left over here, but he himself is going to be able to push maybe the boats on his right. The Brazilian manages to take second place, stays on the right over there. It's going to be Von Pigeon taking the lead on the left, far from the rest of the fleet, as he is soon going to be crossing path with the Brazilian. Brazilian taking the lead. Going left, Von Pigeon going right. As we see ESP Pablo taking the left side of the course. As Brazilian takes a penalty over here in 11 here, next to ESP Pablo. Metrocook took the lead from Von Pigeon. We'll see if he can maintain it. They're still very close to each other. So it's going to be a matter of tack and a matter of wind shift. Von Pigeon apparently takes the lead again according to the ranking on the left. Close to him, Carlos Barril from Spain. Ame in 7th, Lazar in 5th. As Metrocook takes the lead again, Von Pigeon is going to be crossing path with them. ESP Pablo and Metrocook, he's going to have to duck down exactly because he did not have a right of way. ESP Pablo and Metrocook at the mark rounding. ESP Pablo is going to have to tack. He could not reach that mark on his just this one tack that leaves Maître Coq with a 150-meter lead at the start of the first downwind. Von Pigeon still in second, Brazilian still in the mix with fourth, Lazar in fifth. What's happening behind? Breast Power in 8, Carlos in 7, Ame in 9. We see Phil Mate over here taking finishing his penalty 31. That was touching the mark. Looks like Von Pigeon managed to put a bit of a lead on ESP Pablo. Will that be enough? We will see. Maître Coq starts his last upwind of the race. And we see Pablo choosing to go on another mark from Von Pigeon. Von Pigeon went on the left, Pablo on the right. No risks of penalties over here. Maître Coq decides to tack. They're in the wind pressure. We can see that with the darker zones on the water. The darker the water, the more wind there is at that area. As Maître Coq starts his half downwind, he's going to be taking the win in this race. Great performance by him. Looks like Von Pigeon is going to be taking second. It's going to be twice in a row for him. ESP Pablo is likely going to take third. And what is happening behind? 4 for the Brazilian. 5th for the French on. Looks like 6 is going to go to Carlos. Followed by Breast Power in 7. Ame in 8. Lazar in 9, going slightly faster than Ame, but that's not going to be enough. As Phil Matey and Furan close the race. As the start procedure has been given. With 40 seconds to go. So there was a tie between Maître Coq and Von Pigeon at 4 points for first place. How does the tie break work? Well, you align all the scores from all the races for all the players that are ties, so in this case Maître Coq and Von Pigeon, and you align them from best to worst. So Maître Coq best raced was first, Von Pigeon best raced was second in both of the races. First is better than second, so the tiebreak goes in favor of Maître Coq. 7 seconds to go. We see the boats getting close to the start line. No false starts. Again, congratulations to players for that. I think it's rare that we get no false starts at all in 3 races with the F50. Von Pigeon has done a very good start again. He just needs to keep that lead. He should be able to do it as he takes the inside of the mark and decides to steer on the left. Most of the fleet decides to go on the right. It's going to be close between the Swede and the Brazilian over here. Attacking completely synchronized. Look at this. With the boats arriving on the left over here. Watch out, the boats on the left have the right of way, having the wind on their starboard. And Von Pigeon takes the lead. Took the lead. As I say, that's going to be Carlos, according to the ranking, on the left taking the lead. And as I point that out, Von Pigeon takes it back. Phil Matey in 5th. First time we see him in a K Championship knockout, so it is a good position to be in 4th. Again, players will want to be in the top 4 in total after the 4 races so far. First place has 4 points, second place or third place now has Carlos with 7 points, and then it's a tie for the 4th place with 10 points between Pablo, the Brazilian, and the French Aon. As Von Pigeon currently has quite of a lead over here, starting his downwind. Carlos in 2nd. Phil Matey takes a penalty as he was crossing the fleet over here, drops down probably to 5th by the end of the penalty, as Ame climbs back up to 4th. The Brazilian in 3rd. Carlos in 2nd. Gonna be close, or getting closer to Von Pigeon, but still behind. As we see a penalty here behind on ESP Pablo given by Lazar Kozik. Ame in 4th. Carlos takes a penalty, unfortunate one, by touching the mark over here, Rule 31. He's going to be slowing down. It's going to make it harder for him to catch up on Von Pigeon, and easier for the Brazilian, Ame, and Furon to maybe take that 2nd place he had. Brazilian apparently just got it. Watch out for the crossover here. He's going to have to tack, which he does, and that gives Von Pigeon a bigger lead. So the Zeros decided to tack. At this moment, Carlos waited before tacking again. We see Ame in 3rd over here, right next to Phil Matey. And Brazilian takes 2nd place, who will take 3rd between Carlos and Ame. Looks like it is going to be a penalty for Carlos, tacking just in front of Ame, leaving him no room to maneuver. As Von Pigeon starts his last downwind at the mark between the Brazilian and Ame, or Aim. Both deciding to take the same mark. So they're likely going to keep the positions as they are right now. Phil Matey in 4th. That's a great performance by the sailor over here. Carlos in 5th, followed by Furon. And that's likely going to shuffle a bit. The overall ranking, Lazar in 7. What is happening with Maître Cook in 8? Ooh, and then looks like we're going to have a fight for 9th between Aon and Pablo, but looks like Aon might take the lead, putting Pablo in his wind shadow going slightly faster. I'll have to get the confirmation, and Breast Power in 11. And starting signal has been given for race number 4. Last chance for the players. So again, we have a tie between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Metro Cook, Carlos, and the Brazilian, 12 points each. Von Pigeon has a 7-point lead with 5 points, and then 3 points behind the 4th is going to be AIM with 15 points. Ion the French in 6th has 7 points behind 4th, so it could be still possible. Same for Pablo. Phil Matey, unfortunately, I do not think can make it, and under Phil Matey either. With 15 seconds to go, boats are going to start picking up some speed. As this time looks like it's going to be the Brazilian taking the lead. So he's going to have to fight it with Carlos, who has the inside. And Carlos takes the lead. Watch out for the collision between the boats over here. We got kind of a bit of collision between Von Pigeon, Phil Matey, and I think that was Pablo. No, that was a Brazilian. So watch out where further boats arriving on the left over here. They have right away, which is why Metro Cook decided to steer away. Carlos takes the right mark. Brazilian takes the left. Lazar, I saw him take a penalty over here. Ion takes a 31 by touching the mark. And Carlos takes the lead just like he did in race 1. He is in the top 4, currently tied with Metro Cook and the Brazilian. See the Brazilian over here, and AIM is going to be fighting for that 4th place as well. Or better than 4th place if he can. Currently sitting in 5th overall with 15 points. That's 3 points behind 4th. The Brazilian's going to have to attack very soon, as he does right now. Crossing path. Well, he's still far away from Carlos, so I don't think there's going to be any risks of collision. And no one completely to the right over there. Carlos still the highest, still in 1st place. Who is that but over here? That's the Spanish. ESP Pablo. Takes a 10. Metro Cook was just above him. Carlos attacks again. He's going to be the first one to round this upwind gate into the last big downwind before the half downwind in the last leg. Behind, Brazilian is still in 2nd, Metro Cook in 3rd, but it's going to be close for the 3rd place. Lazar is in 4th, Breast Power in 5th, Aeon in 6th, Pablo in 7th. As in front, Carlos starts the last upwind, followed just 100 meters behind. Well, 70 meters behind is going to be the Brazilian. Metro Cook follows the same mark in 3rd. We see Lazar in 4th or 5th over here. Is going to be fighting against Breast Power for that place. Splits. As we see Phil Matey having to duck to avoid that penalty over there. Penalty here on Lazar Kuzik. That's a 10, not giving way to the boats who are right away. Same for Ion over here. That's going to be slowing them down for 10 seconds, which is a lot in the F50. The F50 is a very fast boat, so any slowdown is really going to cost you a lot of meters that the opponents are going to be able to catch up. Carlos just taking in the breeze over here is going to start picking up some speed, still in first place. Brazilian still on his heels. Will he be able to reach that mark without having to tack again? Or will he decide to go on the left one anyway? It looks like he's going to be able to go to the right one and just attack. The Brazilian's going to have to tack again and choose the left mark. Breast Power in fourth, coming in behind. Maître Coq in third decides to take the right mark, so that's a double tack for Maître Coq. That's going to slow him down a bit. But he's going to be fighting against Breast Power for that third. As we have a comfortable first place for Carlos Parejo in race 4. A second place for the Brazilian, a third place for Maître Coq. Looks like Breast Power is going to take fourth and Pablo fifth. Bill Matey in 6th. 31 for Pablo, who rounded the mark a bit too early. Bill Matey might be able to take 5th place from him. And he does. As we see Ama in 7th over here. Not decided for the most direct or fastest path. That means Furan takes 7, Von Pigeon takes 8, Ama takes 9, and we'll confirm that in just a sec. Alan takes 11, finishing off this race. And the pause will be slightly longer after this. We're going to be counting and making sure that the scores are correct. So you make sure that the correct people head over into the medal race. But this is our ranking for race number 4, the top 4 only. We'll be heading into the medal race. And we are good to go. No false starts for any of the boats. Carlos in a good position. He's going to have the inside, but he might not have the... Still takes the lead. Von Pigeon in second. Breast Power in fourth. The fleet is very tight at this first mark rounding. These two boats over here, Von Pigeon and 00000, are going to have the advantage over Carlos if they cross the fleet, because they have their wind on the starboard. But that doesn't scare Carlos, who maintains his lead so far. Carlos still in first. Brazilian is far on the right over here. We have one boat who decided to go on the left. That is Von Pigeon in fourth. Maître Coq in third. we said the scores were very tight between all these 4 players, so whoever really wins that medal race is going to take the win and qualify for the grand final of the K Championship in mid-December. So it is really a winner-takes-it-all situation. But the fleet is very compact, very tight. Carlos in first, the Brazilian in second, Maître Coq in third, Von Pigeon in fourth, lightly underneath the rest. Apologies for that. Carlos takes kind of a lead over here. As they head, we'll start the last upwind over here. Looks like we have kind of a gap between the first 2, Carlos and the Brazilian. Von Pigeon took third from Maître Coq. Maître Coq dropped down to fourth. The Zeros decided to tack, and it got very close with Von Pigeon over here. Carlos still in first, is going to start picking up some speed as he gets into the darker zones. Going now at 27 knots, slightly faster than the Brazilian, who was also going to be taking some speeds. Von Pigeon decided to try his luck on the left over here. Will that pay off? We will see. Looks like it's going to be tough luck for him. I do not think he'll be able to take the lead in front of Maître Coq or 0000. Carlos still in his comfortable lead. 0000 decided to tack. And that might allow Von Pigeon to take third. But a confirmed win for Carlos, as the Brazilian takes a penalty from Von Pigeon by touching him, not giving him enough space. As Carlos crosses the finish line, Maître Coq in second place, Von Pigeon in third, and the Brazilian in fourth. Meaning that our winner is going to be none other than the Spanish Carlos Parejo. Confirmation of the results for this race on your screen. And let's have the confirmation of the overall leaderboard. Over here, some very tight races. But it is first place for Carlos with 15 points, arriving first in the race 1, race 4, and in the medal race. Maître Coq arrives second with 19 points. 19 points tied with Von Pigeon as well. Why is the tiebreak going in favor of Maître Coq? Because Maître Coq has a better result in the medal race. So Von Pigeon in third with 19 points, and then 22 points for the Brazilian, having a very strong race 3 and race 4 performance. Unfortunately, like last time, he did not manage to win, but he did manage to reach the medal race again. Congratulations to Carlos, who again qualifies for the grand final of the E-Sailing, not the E-Sailing, the K-Championship grand final in mid-December. We will likely see Metacogvam Pigeon and the Brazilian again, as well as lots of the other players that we've seen racing tonight. It was been a blast, and it was very close, so congratulations to them. This has been Oscar, your host. Hope you've enjoyed the stream, and we will see you very soon for the K-Challenge 13 starting in just 3 hours from now. That's on Virtual Gala Inshore. Just head over to the K-Championship. K-Challenge 13, and we have prizes to win on every K-Challenge. Prices will be detailed in the in-game news. Yep, I think it's time for me to call it a night. Thank you all for watching. This has been Oscar, your host, and we'll see each other next time.